Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
Lowell is a really cute old mill town, but it's a pretty big city. It's pretty diverse and all over the place.
We actually hadn't heard Brian play bass when he joined the band.
Yeah,
we just
really
liked him so much. We were like, we need him with us.
Well, I used to play in heavier bands, and then I saw them. They played in a band prior to this one, and I went to a show, and I was like, whoa, Lindsay can sing really well. He rips leads like it's nobody's business, and it's like, okay, I definitely want to play music with these guys because they're so talented.
So yeah, I had some buddies in marching band, and we would just go play in their basement after school and then play shows on the weekend, and eventually it just formed into PVRIS, and members coming and leaving, and yeah, it's a very messy, weird, funny time.
The band named PVRIS. Why?
It was just really random. I was in art class one day at Lowell High.
It was right when we started out, one of my friends wrote it down on a piece of paper and passed a note to me. I opened it up and it said PVRIS, and I was like, it's cool.
We were supposed to sign to a different label. Our manager was hanging out with one of his friends who was on Rise at the time. He was showing him our music, and he was like, yeah, they're gonna sign to so-and-so tomorrow, and yeah, it's gonna be great. And this dude was like, wait, no, do not sign to this label. Yeah, it kind of was a miracle, because all this crazy stuff came out about the other label shortly after, where we just completely dodged a bullet.
Don't blame me, death. I'm the shit in your head that you claim ate you like a virus for days on end. Watch you decay, watched you waste away. Who'd you think you'd fool, baby, digging your own grave?
Your new album's doing incredibly well. Has a ton of hype. Did you know it was gonna have the success that it has right now?
No, we wanted it to be successful, obviously, and we wanted it to do well, but we did not even think it would have this much momentum this fast.
What do you think the differences are from your EP to this?
We just got better at writing songs. That's literally it. I had 2 folders of songs all composed together, and they were just demos. There's straight up rock demos, and there was a lot of electronic and weird poppy demos, and
I definitely think our sound is changing, but it's definitely growing, and I think maturing. Obviously, that's such a cliche answer, but yeah, we're never gonna make the same record twice, but it's fun still playing them, because I feel like the songs kind of take a new meaning the more and more you play them, and the more you kind of live. They have a new life every couple months, which is kind of cool. So it's refreshing in a way.
I'm the one with the ghosts in my bed, but they only come alive at night. Stuck in my sheets and a accustomed coffin. I swear that I'll be fine in the daylight.
What is it about dark things that are uncomfortable, things that are unhappy that inspires you?
I think it's such a it's such a thing that everybody's drawn to, but not everybody kind of realizes it, because they're such intense, and I feel like they're the most raw things you feel, and not everybody's open to addressing them or talking about them all the time. So to be able to do that, it's A, cathartic, and B, I think it's something you can really connect with on a bigger scale, because it's kind of like watching a car accident. You can't look away, but I think everybody's drawn to darkness. Everybody has it, and it's an important thing to kind of not necessarily honor, but acknowledge and kind of accept at times. So that's why it's really important for us. And
They sink into my skin, pushing you out just to make the way in. I've grown sick of this fight so frequent. If you can't help it, then I'll push you away. I'm watching, I'm waiting.
Videos are often also black and white. Why did you guys choose those colors?
yeah, it's definitely kind of an homage to, I guess, old black and white film, old black and white photography. Like when you see pictures in color, or like it kind of sets a mood. Like you see yellow, you get a certain vibe. You see red, you get a certain vibe. I feel like black and white, you kind of fill in the blanks a little bit, and it's a little bit more ominous and mysterious. You don't necessarily know what the vibe is, but you definitely kind of come to your own conclusion, which is the cool thing about it. There's all this money, there's all these fans, there's the fame and the glitz and glamour, when it's really not. It's not that at all. And like that's no matter what you're doing, whether you're playing music or you're acting or any kind of career, just because you have all of this in front of you and you have the world at your fingertips doesn't necessarily mean it's fulfilling. When you have that, that's not where you're going to find fulfillment. You're going to find fulfillment in human connection. And when you don't have that, that's like when you kind of lose everything.
Of 18, went off on tour and wrote a letter to your mum. What did that letter say?
It was just a letter explaining that I was in love with another woman and that this was just the reality. But I also like thanked her. I told her, thank you for raising me like this and like really just making me realize this is okay and like being able to accept it. But there's something in me that was just really afraid to face it and just say that to her head on. So I just left her a letter under a pillow and then left straight for tour, and it was really liberating.
You've spoken quite openly about dark periods that you've experienced. Why do you think it's important to speak out about those moments?
I think being vulnerable, and I think expressing your emotions is the biggest like way to heal from them, I guess. And for so long I was just bottling them up and not sharing them and just suppressing them to the point where I just wouldn't feel anything from it. And so a big part is just like digging those up and letting those surface. I hope, and me doing that too, it can inspire other people to kind of just like accept what they're going through and realize even if it is something negative or really dark, it's really beautiful and it is important to go through. I think the record's just about a little bit of everything. It's everything we went through the past 3 years, touring nonstop and adjusting to that, and also reflecting on the last 3 years, and also battling what came after that and how to adjust back to being humans for a second. And so it has a lot of stories on it, and a lot of different energies. It's definitely tied in and like inspired a lot by definitely like being over in the UK, over in Europe, a lot of the architecture and the atmospheres, and
overall aesthetic of like Victorian era, Edwardian era, turn of the century kind of old photographs and everything in that kind of realm. It definitely inspired like a lot of the visuals, and yeah. Also, Heaven was the instrumental was actually started over here. It was maybe like 2 springs ago. We were over here for like Live Lounger, some press related thing over here. But yeah, started the instrumental over here. So it was inspired by London. It's pretty dynamic. I think the record's kind of all over. There's some more somber, sad songs, and then some just really, really angry. Some that are a little bit upbeat. A nice balance and a nice duality.
The
new
EP
would
be
describe
as
fun,
dark.
I know, it's putting pressure.
I know. Fun times 2.
Dark times too.
Yes. There we go.
This love looks like a loaded gun. A noose around my neck or sweet poison. If it gets in the wrong hands, then we're fucked.
Let's go Death to Me first. Why was that the one you guys decided this is the comeback single, this is the one we're going to put out first?
I feel like it just felt like the perfect balance of kind of where we're going and also where we've been. Like the verses have a very kind of modern pop energy to them, but it's still like still kind of grooves, and then the chorus just really hit. So it was a nice balance of I think what we want to be doing.
I'm finally fading and seeing how you just. Baby, you could be the death of me. Maybe I'm crazy. I know you tell you just. Baby, you could be the death of me. I'm finally fading and seeing how you just. Baby, you could be the death of me. One man's cell is another's god. It's all about perspective.
So, Hallucinations and Death with Me, both very adventurous, awesome singles. Hey, how representative would you say they are of the new record?
Pretty representative, I think. Like again, it's still a lot of it's still being worked through and kind of explored right now. But I'd say they capture two energies that I think will be pretty present. And
Because you guys are never really stuck to a specific genre. It's always
yeah, we always kind of bounce around and try and do like one of everything and just keep it fun and exciting.
I'm finally fading and seeing how you just. Baby, you could be the death of me. Maybe I'm crazy. I know you tell you just. Baby, you could be the death of me. I'm finally fading and seeing how you just. Baby, you could be the death of me. Cause heaven knows what you done to me. Let you chain me up and set me free. Where do I begin? I can't explain it. Know you're wasted. 20+ years like photos fading in. I see him changing. All the faces.
Thanks, guys.
everybody.
I'll see you in a little bit.
I want it. It's a sure sign. Where do I begin? I can't explain it. Now you're wasted. How could you?
Thanks so much, Paris, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Take it easy.
How could you let them turn you into a monster? Your worst enemy.
Stick with your integrity and hold on to that, and don't compromise that for anybody or anything, and just like don't get discouraged with roadblocks or detours. They're always going to lead you where you need to go or lead you to something better. This last year especially, there's a lot of really important realizations, especially as a woman, and like how I fit into this space that I think are going to be really exciting to start sharing. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to like have a platform to talk about it.
Literally do anything you want if you just do it. I think that's the coolest thing about being alive. You can literally make it whatever you want to make it.